Alright, so I just spent the last 3 hours doing a complete total breakdown of the Milford sound and the three different options, and cognitive dissonance is going to make me lean towards the one I've invested the most time in, but I'll run through the different options that we've got for the table. Option A is taking an airplane in, riding on a cruise, and taking an airplane out. Cost would be $413 a person, so obviously expensive. Time would be 4 hours, so time effective. Pros would be dope experience and no hassle driving to the destination and all that stuff. Cons, it's expensive, there's no lunch, inclement weather could throw off the trip, and there's no hiking involved. Option B, take a bus in, cruise, bus out. Cost for that one, $155.92 a person. That'll be a 12-hour all-day experience from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Start in Queenstown, bus out, go on a cruise, and bus back to Queenstown. Pros to this one, dope experience, no hassle driving to the destination. Cons, no lunch, LOL. Inclement weather could throw off the trip, I guess, and no hiking. Now here's the Denny's grand slam of them all, option C. Drive in, do some hiking along the Milford Sound, the road. It's a one-way road to get to the Milford Sound, and then go back and stay in Te Anau, which is like the closest habitable town with hostels and stuff, and spend the night there. So that would be Tuesday, so it would be like a wake up, drive, do Mirror Lakes hike, and then Roteburns track hike, and then Lake Moraine hike, and then head back to Te Anau and spend the evening there in a hostel. It's only $30 a person. And then Wednesday, the next day, we'd wake up 7 a.m., do a hike on Lake Mistletoe track, which is on the way to Milford Sound. And then from there, you could you drive to Deepwater Basin, which is a free parking lot. Only downside is you have to walk a quarter of a mile. It's about 20 minutes. And then so the problem with that is, I guess we could sleep in more, but also why the fuck would you sleep in when you're in New Zealand? Wouldn't you want to enjoy all this beauty and stuff? But we have a little bit of a time gap between it. But the cool thing that makes this a Denny's Grand Slam offer for the Milford Sound is we're getting to get in the hikes, and then we also get a cruise and an optional kayak tour as well, which is freaking awesome. So that's $213 a person. So it's a little bit more cost-wise than just doing the bus, but you're really maximizing like the total experience and amount that you get out of going to the Milford Sound, which is nice. So pros, dope experience, you get to do some cool hikes, get the full experience of the Milford Sound, and you get a kayak and cruise, and you have the autonomy of the car. And then the cons, it would take up an extra day, which isn't a big deal because we have 2 days factored in, like flex days, where it's not a hard and fast itinerary. And the other con is I had to just use my brain to make this itinerary, but it's creating a lot of value, and I can also pass it on to somebody else maybe at some point. So I just thought that part was funny. So I've shared the details if you guys want to look it over. Personally, I think option C makes the most sense. Also, I've invested a good bit of time and it makes sense. I didn't factor in the cost of gas for driving for option C, so that is a factor. But I mean, fuck it, like you're in New Zealand once, like how much is like what, maybe an extra $40-50 of gas? Like if we get a fuel efficient rental vehicle, I don't see that as a big deal. So yeah, just some food for thought. We'd have to rearrange, I guess, the back end of the trip, but let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I'm biased, I'm leaning towards option C, so just look it over, think it over, and we can kind of go from there.